Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Hey guys, I'm Sarah Cruse, and I've known Jesse for a long time. I'm kind of known in the real estate industry as single mom, came out of abusive relationship. I was a stay-at-home mom and just had to make things happen. And at the time, I thought real estate was my only option, and just really hustled to six figures as quickly as possible. So one of the things that fell into my lap was investors, working with investors. And I offered them a kickback if they use me for new construction. And that I started working with tons of them. So then they buy new construction as a buy and hold. And then I'm turning around and I'm leasing the home out. And I've been doing that for years. So each time a tenant moves out, I relist, and then I get leads on those listings. And I've done over 75 leases. I was giving a lot of the leads out to my organization, and but still did a lot. So I have a process down, and I know that there's a lot of struggling agents out there right now, just the market. And a lot of it has to do with mindset. However, sometimes, especially as a single mom, I don't have anyone else providing income. And so if you need quick money, I've been teaching that. And I actually created a course and everything. So I'm basically going to be teaching the course on this call today. In the course, I go over the leasing process, because a lot of agents and a lot of brokers don't even know the leasing process. I run into that a lot when I'm, representing a tenant and I'm applying at a property, and the person that listed it doesn't really know what they're doing. But so I go over the process in my course, but for the sake of time, I am going to go over quick ways that you can make money with the leases and get tenant leads. And I'm hoping that you guys have questions. So we can take up the whole 30 minutes. But, and I mean, anytime you have a question, or if you want to ask me a question about anything, you are more than welcome to. I do wonder though, does everyone's market allow leases? Are you allowed to do them? Do people use you all to do them? I know in my market, there's a lot of people lease. I live in a nice area. I live in Houston, Texas, and a lot of the leases are above $2,000 a month. And then the pay on those, the compensation is at least 50% of 1 month's rent. So it's at least $1,000 per lease. And if you do 10 of them in a month, that's a $10,000 month. So if you're a new agent, that can make a huge difference in your income, and your learning and your hustling, and you're earning money while you're trying to get buyers and sellers. And a lot of the things that you do to get a tenant, you can also do for buyers and sellers. So a lot of these things you can use to get, other leads too, and build your business. So I would say, there's a lot of secret agents out there. So you definitely want to post on Facebook and either introduce yourself or reintroduce yourself. There's a lot of people, a lot of clients that don't know that they can use a real estate agent to represent them and find them a lease. So you want to educate the public and tell them and let them know that you are able to do that, and then provide a USP, a unique selling proposition. Maybe and this is for people that want quick money. Maybe you want to quick kick back something, a gift card, or especially if you want to push apartments that are paying 100 of 1 month's rent, maybe you can offer like a $500 gift card, although that is going beyond Texas rules. I thought I was thinking of ways to like get more leads for this call. And, but I just thought like, that's probably beyond the rules. But the number one way that to get leads really quick, and you can close business by August 1st, is to call listing agents, the leasing listing agents in your area, and ask them for their sign calls. And that works because a lot of agents don't like their lease leads, and they appreciate your hustle and they will hand them over no matter what brokerage you're with. And I've had agents call me wanting my lease leads, and I've given them to them. And then I partnered with somebody and we started a leasing division. And that is our number one lead source. Is we sent out 2,000 emails to agents in Northern Houston, and we get so many leads on a daily basis coming to the agents. So, yeah, that is a number one way to do it. And then just educating the public and offering that USP to get those. And then on top of that, you'll find that you're getting buyers and sellers too, because you're putting yourself out there and educating the public. And even if you seem like you're the leasing expert, that people will still use you to buy and sell. But that is what makes people can really start a business doing that because they have leads coming in. They help the lead get into a home, and then that lead ends up being a buyer. And I cannot tell you how many times that's happened, and they don't know any other agents, and I've kept in front of them, and then they end up buying with me. And then I've been in real estate long enough where they end up selling with me too. So just from the very beginning, when I offered a kickback for the investors that bought new construction, I didn't want to do it because I felt like I was losing money, but I also needed to make money really bad. And it has turned into more income than I thought. And it was a long time coming, but it took a while, but I started reaping the benefits, within a couple of years of doing that. And word got around, other investors were using me. I guess I could go into the leasing process if no one knows what that is. I talk about it in my course, but when you're helping a tenant, you help them apply and you present it as if they're a buyer. And I have intro letters for people that have pets or may have, a credit issue. In my course, I teach how to pre-qualify those people. Maybe, do you want to work with somebody? Do you want to spin your wheels with somebody? I want to help everybody, but I've found that some people just don't get out of their own way. I had a lease listing or a lease lead come in overnight, and I contacted her this morning. She's a single mom, just went through a divorce, is still living with her ex-husband, who is an alcoholic. And she says she's miserable. And she has decent credit. She has 2 small dogs, which I can definitely get approved. And she has a good price range. But she said her and her agent are having problems finding her a home. And as I asked more questions, I found that she is literally standing in her own way. And she said she needs office space. Okay, well, that's fine. We could probably find office space in her price range. But she also needs enough space for her grandmother's antique dining room table and hutch. And at that point, if you're having problems getting approved, how miserable are you? There's things I'm appalled by how many people let furniture stand in their way. Like they'll love a house but they just have too much stuff. And it amazes me how many people, I mean, and some people have the money to overcome those obstacles, but when you're in a miserable situation, like how miserable are you? Are you standing in your own way? The templates that I give, the lease leads, sometimes they have a perfect situation, but and definitely check with your broker before you do this, but I have them write an introduction letter because it helps the landlord. It paints a picture for them, like who is going to be living in their home. If they have dogs, I have pet resumes, and you put references, maybe your vet reference. If your dog had any training at all, then you put the trainer's name and number. You let them know they're vaccinated, that they've never bitten anybody. And one thing that I do to get my pets approved with landlords is I offer a pet rider on the rental insurance. So if the dog were to bite anybody, or the insurance covers that. And so that brings peace of mind to the landlord. And just the fact that we're offering that normally gets somebody approved. So if somebody has a pit bull, that's the number one way. First of all, I don't call them a pit bull. I call them an American Bulldog or Stafford Terrier. But we also offer those kind of things. And then I have intro letters for people with a background, eviction history. At that point, you're kind of at risk of spinning your wheels, but there's second chance apartments and landlords out there. So when you become the expert, you kind of know where to look for those things. And that really helps. Like if you are really hustling and trying to get as many leases done as possible, you want those things in your corner. You don't want to be applying at a lot of properties. The number one way that I get leases done really quick is I only allow them to see 5 homes. And at this point, I know what to tell them. Like, hey, this is temporary living. And I ask a ton of questions to see what exactly they need. I set them up on a search, and then they get to choose. They get to choose what homes we see. But I am not going to show them. It's most of the time I just go out once, show them homes, have them choose their favorite and a backup, and then we're done. So then we apply. They have more of a chance because of the letters that I provide, the intro letters. And I do include pictures. So, and then it's up to the listing agent if they want to present that to the landlords. But
I couldn't accommodate 8 o'clock.
Oh yeah, I can definitely send letters. I'll send that to you. But everything that I have lead gen ideas, and I'll send you that too. That helps with buyers and sellers too. So I think everyone should reintroduce themselves like every 90 days. Let the public know what you can do for them, and then offer your unique selling proposition. So, and that's just a way to provide value. People love free things. So one thing that you can provide a buyer is like a free appraisal. The fine print says that it's paid at closing, just so you're not paying out of pocket, but you can kick back. I know a lot of lenders around here will let you kick back 1%. So that's, a fraction of that. For a lease, you have to be careful, obviously, but you can give gift cards, and then anything else creative that you can think of. And then And I wouldn't do this for lease listings. Would go through the trouble to find buyers though, but having events for people, that is a good way to stay in front of the public and collect those leads. So let's see, what else do I have in my course? I have about 6 modules in there, just going over lease things. And you can get through it in, just a couple of hours. It's really easy to process and digest because it's short videos. What can you expect? How you get leads. And like I said, you can use those for buyers and sellers too, not just leases. But point of this call is like, how do you get money quickly? And you could, if you really wanted, you could probably make a couple thousand, maybe $5,000 by August. So, and then by September, you could really make some quick money. Okay. So Sam, I went over that. So I'll let you know, like the number one way that I get renters, prospects, is I call the listing agents in my area, the lease listing agents, and ask them for their lease leads. Because a lot of agents turn their nose up at leases, but they're super easy. Especially, if you're telling them you can only see 5 homes. And the way you present that is a big deal too. Like you don't want to offend anybody, but it is temporary housing and they don't need to go see 25 homes. So you ask a lot of questions and then you show them 5 homes. So you can really get these done quickly and efficiently. But that is number one way is call the lease listing agents for their sign calls. And most of them will agree to them. And that is something that I have tried. And I've had agents call me and then I've called other agents and everybody. And I don't know if it's just my area. We work really well together around here, but I get some really amazing leads. I mean, there was a $4,000 a month lease and that listing agent had agreed to send the lease leads. And so it was, and those type of people are serious too. They're not just, they're loyal, and whoever shows them, they usually stick with that agent. And so it worked out really well. It's really quick. And first month's rent goes to the broker and pays the agents. And you can literally, what is today, July 20th, you can literally get paid by August 1st. So anybody that's struggling, it's a really good way to do that. And then you get buyers and sellers too. I mean, make sure you're posting all of this on social media and utilizing, the free resource to push all of this out and educating the public. Like we can help you with leases too. I mean, that starts conversations, and that getting those connections, you can convert those to buyers. So if you're in the area where you're getting calls for a $2,500 a month lease or a $4,000 a month lease, there's a lot of people that don't think they can buy. And they don't realize that they're paying 100% interest versus a 7.5% interest. And so, but it gives you the opportunity to convert them to a buyer. And if they're adamant about renting, then get them in something quickly and you get paid on that too. And then you just got paid to have that connection with a client. So there's a lot of agents asking, what leads should I buy? Well, why don't you get paid to have connections? So it's just, not only is it quick money, but you're getting paid to fill your database. And I think especially for new agents, that should be your number one goal, is to focus on filling your database. What can I do to put more people in my database? And when you have that goal, you're posting on social media, you're doing open houses, you're having events, you're talking to people, at the grocery store. And so when that's the focus, you get yourself out there a lot more, even if it's for leases. So there was a time where I turned my nose up at leases and I didn't want the lease leads. And then I found that they're actually gold. And I keep them in my database. I keep myself in front of them. And then when they decide to buy, I am their agent, and it's made my business go round. So it's really hard to teach a class when no one has their camera on. So if anyone has any questions, camera on or off, feel free to ask. I feel like I've gone over everything except the process. If anyone would like me to go over that, I'm more than happy to. I know here in my area, we have a Texas application. It's very general, and that's how I pre-qualify tenants. Before we even go look at anything, I'm sending them the applications to fill out. I'm getting their income documents. I'm making sure that they qualify. I'm asking about their credit and their background. I've never had anyone lie to me. Normally they're upfront. Sometimes people's situations are worse than they told me, but normally most of the time the situation is better than what they told me. They feel like it's really bad, and it's really not that bad. And most landlords know that the renters are renting for a reason. But so I pre-qualify, and then before we even, I set them up on a search while they're filling out everything. And then we do not go out and look at homes until I get everything. And I tell them, if you find something you like, the market can move really fast, and we want to be able to present your application. A lot of times I tell them I'm going to present the application on your favorite house before we even go look. And so the serious people will get you those things before you even go out and look. So you're not spinning your wheels and you're not wasting your time. And it's okay to have boundaries, and it's okay to tell people that you can't work with them if they're not getting their documents to you. So there's some people, like I said, stand in their own way and they're irresponsible, and that's why they're renting. And you can run your business how you want. I'm all about being efficient. And I love working from home, and I love working in my yoga pants. And if I'm going to change out of my yoga pants to go show you home, you have to get me your stuff, and you have to be qualified. I have 3 kids here at home. We are homebodies. I don't like to leave unless I have to. So that's I'm adamant. I am a leasing expert. And if you are taking my time, then these are what I need. And it's the best people out there, the easiest people will get you your stuff, and who you want to work with. So, oh no, not a problem. Do you pick the lease rentals? Do I pick the ones that they want to see? No, since we have this great thing called the internet, you tell me, I'm going to send you the homes based on your criteria, and then you tell me what you want to see. And I do not show more than 5 homes. I showed a renter yesterday, and they've been wonderful. We just saw 2 homes, and they picked one, and they're really good people. So we should get an approval today. And it's the easiest, it's a $2,500 a month rental. That's the easiest. Let's see, I get paid half of that. So it's $1,200. This is the easiest $1,200. I just got paid like $600 an hour. Nice. And then I get to stay in front of them and they can turn into buyers. So
Miss, who will pay you the commission for your services when showing the home? Who will pay you? Do you ask the renters that you have to pay when I show the house?
Oh, I don't charge up front, but I've heard of people doing that. You would have to put money in some kind of escrow. But no, I don't. I get paid when I lease the home. So it's
representing the owners. You are representing the sellers and you are listing that home as lease and right? Okay.
Oh, yes. So I have a whole portfolio of investors that I work with. And so it's like I represent them in the purchase. I don't kick back any commission anymore. But to get started, to get started in my business, I really needed business. I really needed to get paid. And it's crazy how the things that like you'll think out of the box when you have a family to support and you're trying to keep yourself out of foreclosure. This is just one of the ways that I started offering a 1% kickback in commission. It's like right on the closing statement. I'm not sending them money or anything. It's a kickback on the closing statement for any investor buying new construction as a buy and hold, because I'm turning around and I'm listing it for lease. And I see that relationship, and that it's just, I've had these relationships with the investors ever since. And it's just every time a tenant moves out, I'm constantly listing leases, and I get professional pictures done once and I use them over and over and over again. So, and then I get the sign calls, and sometimes I take them if they seem like they're going to be really easy. I'll take the tenant. And then if I'm just too busy, I'll give them to somebody that that needs to learn and everything. So
proud of you. Very nice. Good.
Yeah. But it's go ahead. I'm sorry. What were you going to ask? Oh, I think you froze.
How do you find?
Go do that again. I'm sorry.
How do you find the investors?
Oh, so the way I got into that was I had a listing. I miraculously got a listing, and somebody called me wanting information. And she told me, she's like, we're investors. And we ended up we started shopping for new construction, and they bought, I think their first home was a resale, but then we started going to new construction. And that it's so easy because I don't have to do anything. We go and look, and then the builder does everything. I go to the walkthroughs, and then I'm getting, and a lot of times here before the crazy market, they would pay at least 3% plus a bonus to the buyer's agent. So I would kick back 1% of the 3% because for one, like the investors are looking to save every single penny, but then I'm turning around and I'm listing it for lease.
Yes.
So yeah. And then I make sure I do a really good job. So then they hire me every year.
Yeah.
So
best. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. So, do you have any more questions? Because I think we have to end it at 10:30, and I'm happy to hang out.
That's fine. Like, I haven't done leases, and also just I wanted to know, I'm in California. Like, we don't have so many lease rentals. Very few renters we see in Zillow. If somebody asks, I will collect renters there, and I will send them the information. These are the homes available for rent. If you need any help, I will tell them. And if I write the lease also, I don't get anything, but I will have the relationship.
That's a really good way to think about it. But why don't you get paid on the list? In California, you don't get paid for leases?
Means the thing is, listing agents don't represent the sellers most of the time. we find that many landlords publish in the public websites like Zillow, Redfin, and these renters go there and directly landlords will deal with them.
Okay, I got it. Okay, so what I do is, this normally turns renters away, but I go over the buyer's rep with them, and I'm like, if you pick a home off of Zillow and the landlord doesn't want to pay a commission, I basically tell them they're responsible for my commission. But then what I do is I send them my MLS. And those listings are paying a commission. And so they didn't know about it. They just are looking on Zillow because Zillow spends gazillions of dollars on marketing. But I'm like, okay, well, here's our MLS. And if you pick one of these, then you can't tell them it's free, but it's like in most cases, the landlord will pay my commission and you don't have to worry about it. And so they go to the different website.
Yeah.
And I tell them there's other incentives to use the MLS. Like, this is updated information. So if something is still on the market on the MLS, it's most likely still on the market. Zillow, it's just the information is syncing and it's not accurate. So I don't know. I get around that, but one day I called a bunch of landlords on Zillow and none of them wanted to pay a commission. So I don't even.
Not worth it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I get free leads off of Zillow. So just people are looking on Zillow and they see my listing and they inquire. So.
Correct. That is correct.
And then I go set them up on a search in the MLS. So then they start using the MLS.
You're smart. That is good.
Yeah. So, and then if you do have somebody, offer them something. Be like, if you don't have a relationship with them, offer something of value. And like they know you're serious and they like it. So.
Yeah, that is nice. And I was also thinking I can collect the renters, rental information from the public websites and I can advertise. Don't know whether I can do it without the landlord permission, but I think it should be okay because it's not as per MLS restrictions.
I don't know if this is the best advice, but sometimes I just do it. And, if you're just really hustling and you have good intentions and it helps them, why not market it? And then I've never gotten a slap on the wrist.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then because I've been thinking about posting nearby apartments because they're expensive and they're paying 100% of 1 month's rent. And it's like, if you put me on your application, like I need to think of something of value. I was thinking my immediate thought was like $500, but you can't do that. So I got to think of something. But just Facebook Marketplace, Grant Wise. I don't know if you know who that is, but he just did a really good webinar on posting on Facebook Marketplace. Somebody did it for him, but I'll look at the email and I'll send it to you.
Thank you, Loli. Thank you so much. Send me the letter formats also.
Okay. I am taking a screenshot of your email and I'll send you those things.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Not a problem at all. And reach out if you have any more questions about anything.
I will.
And good luck.
Sure. Thanks. Bye.
Anybody else? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for being on today. Please reach out. I don't know if you want to screenshot this. I'm going to leave my cell phone number.
Yeah. Great.
And then you can find me on social media under Sarah Cruse.
Okay.
And then you'll see that I'm friends with Jesse and Agent Power Huddle, Kristen Mayshore.
Okay.
Everybody. So
I will join too. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thanks, y'all.
Sure. Thanks. Bye.
Bye. You too.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.